Welcome to the Jake Thomas Supernatural Podcast. It is both an honor and a privilege to have you, sir. This is retired fire captain Tod Hipsher.
Yes, retired 30 years.
Man, thank you for your service, first of all.
Oh, I loved every minute of it. Thanks,
Absolutely.
Jake. Yeah, it was a great career. I worked for LA County Fire Department.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Man.
Awesome career. I spent most of my time in the city of Bell, Maywood, Cudahy, and Huntington Park. And man, I miss it.
Yeah, I bet. It's, I've heard that from a lot of people. It's like once you get out of the action, it's like, I guess it gets kind of boring, right?
Well, yeah, it gets boring because it's like that rush, you want that rush. And, I'm on Jake Thomas's Supernatural podcast right now. And, my supernatural powers were going into burning buildings, man.
There's nothing more honorable, in my opinion.
Well, I got to disagree with you on that. Our servicemen that protect our country and give us our freedoms we have, that's the honorable thing.
Fair.
It gives me the chills because, I did this civically for individual people, and I loved every minute of it. But the people that fight for our freedoms, God bless them.
God bless them indeed. Yeah, I come from a military family.
Okay.
Father was an officer in the Army. Both parents were officers in the Army, and both of their ancestors for 2 generations were also in the military. I tried to join, but I had a heart issue after a certain injection into my body that then was in the cloud system. I think they call it, I may be wrong here. I think they call it Oculus. I don't know, but it's a new cloud system where now you can't lie and say you don't have any health conditions or any previous history. Now they know if you've had health insurance. I've had military health insurance, TRICARE.
Okay.
So it was unfortunate. I'm here doing this now. And before that, I was actually acting. But not much luck on my end. But
are you a military brat that moved?
Yeah.
Excuse me, brat.
No, yeah.
I don't mean brat. But I mean, you moved all over the country?
Yeah. All over the world. I grew up moving throughout the U.S. and Europe. So the 2 European countries I lived in, I spent the first 2 years of my life in Germany, Baumholder, Germany. And then at a military base, my father's, once my father had children with my mother, she got out and was a stay-at-home mom, and my father stayed in, served for 20 years. But we lived in Brussels, Belgium, and Baumholder, Germany. So I do remember living in Belgium from, I think, between the ages of maybe 8 to 11. And then, we, my parents divorced while we were living in Belgium. My dad kept working there. He was working at NATO there. And then my mother moved to where her family was in Texas. So we lived there.
What part of Texas?
El Paso, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, right on the border. So it was a very interesting life there. It was,
I can imagine.
Yeah, a lot of different walks of life, a lot of good people. I was a skateboarder, so I kind of fell into that crew, but it was great. Yeah.
So you ventured out to California?
Yeah.
Pursue your dream or what?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. We were living at that time. My father was already retired, and my stepmother at the time was a dentist. So we were living in Florida. We moved. I went to high school in Virginia. Yeah. So
you went to high school in Virginia?
Oh yeah. Yorktown.
Wow, what a trip.
Yeah.
All over.
Oh, yeah. I mean, probably, I don't know the exact number, but probably like 10 different places before. Moving to LA was my first time moving somewhere on my own accord.
Did you go to college?
Yes. Yeah,
Where was that at?
Well, actually, I started college at a community college in Virginia. And then I knew I was going to do the 2 and 2, so basically do 2 and then transfer to a university. And then by that time, I decided I wanted to be an actor because I took an acting class in college and just wanted to get out of Florida because I went to Virginia first for the first year of community college. Then the second year, I was in Florida. And then because that's when my stepmother at the time got a job as a dentist in Florida, and my father, again, was retired, so he moved with her. And we had the option or whatever. And, then I moved to LA because I was just like, man, I don't know what I want to do with my life, but every job seems depressing to me. The idea of like, to be honest, it's just like, it seems depressing as hell, like most of the jobs. And my backup plan was the military at the time. Not to say it's, backup thing, but I was just like, I knew that if I joined, I would be like my father and be a lifer and do it the rest of my life. So I was like, let me explore a little bit. Then I moved to LA to be an actor. And I've been here for a number of years, and I had a tough time as an actor. I had a lot of luck compared to a lot of my friends that were trying to make it as an actor. But then I have other friends that, became semi-famous, from it, or dove into social media.
Right.
And now I'm in social media, and I actually really enjoy it a lot more because I enjoy the control. I enjoy the control of like having the podcast, being able to meet amazing people like you, people of all walks of life. This podcast is generally centered around supernatural experiences, but I always knew from the beginning, I kind of want to take like a Joe Rogan approach where it's like just all different types of people, anything with interesting stories,
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting people out in the world, man.
Absolutely.
And you know what? Some of the things that you would think people can never get themselves into, they get into.
Exactly.
And, well, you're here. You're in LA. Are you still acting?
Yes and no. I mean, I'll be honest. I hope my agent doesn't see this, but she sends me auditions all the time, and I'm like, look, better not be a cattle call. It better not be something that's. I'm in SAG-AFTRA now, so I was at a time doing FI-Corps stuff, so I could do non-union and union stuff.
Yeah.
I know you're an actor, so you know this, but the audience. So I was like, basically, I'm really just not currently interested in it unless it's like a big TV show or something, But I really, sir, I really enjoy doing the social media stuff now because it's like, for instance, a day ago, I uploaded a new video on TikTok and I got 1 million views within a day. That's incredible.
That is incredible.
You know what I mean?
And what was it about?
Well, I might catch some heat for this one, which I am, which is what makes it go viral.
You're right.
But I do ghost hunting videos for fun. I like the adrenaline, and I like to ghost hunting is one of the many reasons that I believe in God. When I talk to these spirits that are still here, they say that they're stuck here or they say that they're in hell, which directly correlates with the Catholic. And this is not a religious podcast. First of all, I interview people of all walks of life, all religions. I'm open to hearing everyone's story, and I don't want to push my beliefs on anyone else. I believe what I believe because of what I've experienced. And, maybe someone else would experience it and feel a different way about it, whatever. But I'm not going to hold back what I experienced just for, whoever's listening, maybe it'll help them. But anyway, so I started doing those for the adrenaline and for the fun. And then I was like, man, I'm actually getting real evidence here and proof that there's life after death. And then I was just like, this is insane. How is this working? I'm using like a spirit box. And I'm like, this has got to be fake or something. Like, what's going on? And then I do some research and I see that because I'm doing research on the technology that I'm using to talk to the other side. After all these spirits, the only spirits that I speak to are miserable because they all say they're stuck, like I said, in purgatory or hell. And from what they're saying, and I believe that. But then I did some research and I saw that Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison were both doing research on the paranormal. And when they died, their trunk, Thomas Edison's or Nikola Tesla's trunk with all of his information on paranormal stuff and a bunch of other innovations were deemed basically like a public threat to society. And it's interesting, obviously now we're seeing, and obviously I come from like a government served family. And I love what, I love people who serve our government and our nation, first of all. But there are a lot of things that we're now coming to learn that weren't always public. And, so now it's like, wow, maybe there is more to that story. I mean, those people were like the smartest people of their generation in that time, and they believed in this stuff. And I'll get like haters in the comments that are like, oh, this is fake. I'm like, you think you're smarter than them?
It's crazy, the haters, right?
Oh my God.
That's the thing about social media, as I think we discussed a little bit ago. I'm older, so I'm kind of in the middle of, the progression of cell phones, social media, the whole way life is now. And I have a 28-year-old daughter that actually is a whiz on it. She helps me as much as she can. But for an old guy like me, I'm playing catch up, man. And it's really tough. But like you, I'm passionate about it as well. And you can't take things personally, though.
Never.
Haters are going to hate.
Yeah.
And they're going to come at you. And if you have thin skin, boy, it could really mess somebody up.
Yeah.
And I just hope, and that's my mission and my goal on my platform is, if I could help one person, I've helped a lot of people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's where I'm kind of going myself. And is Tesla Croatian? Do you know?
To be honest with you, he may be, and I think he likely may be, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, I'm Croatian. That's
Okay.
why I asked. So I think somewhere along the line I might have heard that, and that was one brilliant man.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I love Tesla. I love Elon Musk.
Oh yeah,
and I mean, he's obviously like the biggest innovator of our time. And to touch on what you said with the haters, it's like, first of all, I look at now that I'm back in social media, because I started in 2020 during the pandemic, because we had, sitting at home, whatever. And I was like, I gotta do something with my fucking time. And then I got into that and started going viral, but I was just going viral for whatever. But I started realizing, man, first of all, I can create a narrative and actually have people believe whatever I'm posting, for like, and get millions and millions of views. So that's dangerous. That's really dangerous. So it's like, so then I realized, like, all right, I got to stop joking around. I was doing joking videos. I'm like, from now on, what I do has got to be real. But secondly, the point was, yes, no matter what we post, no matter who it's posting, now I look at social media from like a different angle. I'm like, I go to the comment section. I'm like, there's just so many miserable, pathetic people out there that are just like, they'll find anything to be negative about and comment about, no matter what you're posting. You're trying to help people.
And you know what? The sad thing is, Jake, is I had two of my friends that I worked with in the fire department. And we go into burning buildings, right? We're not afraid to die, really. But two friends last year committed suicide that worked for the fire department.
Oh, man.
My point is to that is, you don't know what these people are going through, that you're hammering them on social media. They could be one letter, one period, one word, one sentence away from committing suicide. And you might be the one to put them over the top. I don't like that.
Me neither.
That bugs the fuck out of me.
Yeah. This is All Things Go podcast. So,
okay, good. Because one of those things that could throw someone over the edge, because you don't know that person. You have no idea what they're going through. If you know that person and you want to talk shit on them to their face, have at it. But I tell my followers, I say, you know what? You can come at me. I got thick skin. I don't give a fuck. I could care less. I'll handle whatever you got. Yeah. And we could laugh about it. I'll laugh at you. But you don't know what those people are going through.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It sucks.
It does. Because you're right. Like, I could tell. I mean, anyone from a certain background, and I'm not comparing my background to yours, but there are certain types of people that can handle these things and have thick skin, but the majority of people can't.
They can't. And, I got on the fire department in 1983. I was a young boy. I was a boy raised by a badass single mom. I'm an only child. I'm 20 years old. For whatever reason, I got lucky. I knew I wanted to be an athlete. I sucked. So I thought, what's the next best thing? I'm going to be a fireman.
Yeah.
And I got on when I was 20, and I got guys barreling down my throat, looking at me like your dad probably in the military looking at you. And I'm scared. My dad was gone. I didn't have a dad. And I'm like looking at these guys going, fuck, they're picking on me, man. What's going on? Am I going to make this? Am I going to make it? And boy, oh boy, I made it. But when you're 20, 21, 22, you think those guys were assholes. By the time I got 35, I love those guys. They were my heroes because they taught me how to be a fucking man.
Yeah.
And that's what we're lacking these days. We're lacking discipline, hard work, earn shit. Go out and earn it. Have respect. These haters, they don't have any of that. Right. And that's why society's sad. And, we're all humans. We're all trying to do the same thing if you really think about it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course.
I mean, we're all trying to get along. Everybody has problems. I don't care who you are. You mentioned Elon Musk. He has problems.
Oh, yeah.
Trust me. Trust me.
Biggest ones.
That's right. Donald Trump has problems.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Kamala Harris has problems. Everybody has problems.
Yeah.
It's how you deal with them.
Yeah.
And anybody could sit behind their phone and a keyboard and tell you you're an asshole or you suck or you're this or that. But goddamn, be that person that's better than that.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Be that person that's better. We got too much shit out here that comes upon ourselves. It's like being in a relationship. I have a hard enough time dealing with myself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Todd, I got to deal with Todd all day.
Yeah.
Now I'm married to my wife. Now I got to deal with Todd and Gina. Right? It's hard enough to deal with Todd, but now I got to deal with Todd and Gina.
Yeah.
Now I could be an asshole. Or I could be nice. That's my wife. What's our choice?
Right.
We all make choices.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I don't like a lot of things that are going on. And it bothers me because, like I said, my two friends, they were solid guys. I mean, they saved a lot of people's lives. And to take their own, I don't know. It hits hard sometimes. And I think back to my point where I was going with I'm sorry, I kind of diverted off, but at 20 years old, you know, you don't know how you're going to handle seeing someone with their head blown off.
No.
Dude.
Yeah.
Where do I process that? I got nowhere to put it. It's in my body for the rest of my life. It's going to be there, right?
Yeah.
And in 1983, we didn't have all this mental health issues, mental illness. Right. Now everything's mental illness and health issues, right?
Yeah.
So what did you do? We went back to the kitchen table as firemen. This is going to sound bad, but we joked about it and went on to the next call.
Yeah.
We didn't have time to feel sorry for ourselves. We didn't have time to make it that big of a deal. Now, how I handled it could be totally different than the way you handled it. But we bonded together to make sure that we were all okay and on that same mission.
Amen. Yeah, I think about that a lot. I'm like, I've experienced depression once, but before I experienced that, I thought that I was like, man, these people are just so weak and like just snap out of it. Like just, you know, like be a man, fucking, you know, like, you know, snap out of it. You know, it's all in your head. And I've always been lucky. That's what I believed at the time, for the record. And maybe God put that on me so that I could understand that when you are in that, it feels helpless. You know, it feels helpless. And it's like, I just remember for me personally, I was like, I'd rather sleep all day. I'm in physical pain when I'm awake because of this, you know? And like, I'm just like, so I hope no one ever takes their life because it's not the end. I'll tell you that from personal experience. It's my belief, but a lot of the spirits that I've spoke to on the other side, probably 50% of them either took their life or died of a drug overdose. And I'm not saying that that's their eternal resting place, but just hearing that so often and then speaking to exorcists about it, it's not, and not to say that they're going to be there forever because the theory is, and I'm not saying this is factual, but the theory is, according to the Catholic priests and a lot of Christians, is if you take your own life, you then go into purgatory, a place where God has mercy for you. And because you're not going to hell because you know he has mercy on you, but you're not clean enough to enter the kingdom of heaven yet. So the theory is you need to repent for your sins, become clean, accept Jesus as your savior, and then go into heaven. And again, you know, this is what I've heard and what I choose to believe. It's almost like, you know, not to bring up, you know, gambling, but it's like, hey, if this is true, or maybe it's not true, but like, it's like my grandma told me. She was actually a Protestant. My grandmother was, I'd rather live my life that way and be wrong than live my life the other way, you know, and then end up in hell or end up, you know.
Right, absolutely.
Because none of us truly like have facts, you know. Like,
I don't know. It's a trip, man.
It's a trip.
I don't know. I wish we knew what was on the other side.
Right.
You know,
That's
I
what I'm
wish
searching.
that we could reconnect with people that we have unanswered questions.
Yeah.
You know, I have some unanswered questions about my father. I'd like to confront him. The fuck? Why'd you leave? Dude, why'd you leave me? You left me 7 years old.
Man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope I find out.
Yeah.
Right. But all I can do is, put one foot ahead of the next. And, I made some mistakes too. And part of my stuff is you have to make mistakes to learn. But part of being a man and part of being a good human is owning your mistakes.
Absolutely. Accountability.
Yeah. We don't have that. We hide.
So often. I had, for instance, yesterday, my girlfriend and I, she needed to go to the beauty store, Sally Beauty, and some guy almost backed into her. And then she like turns to me. She's like, Jake, this fucker almost ran me over. And I was, I have a clean criminal record, thank God. And I'm maintaining that. But I also come from a mixed martial arts background. So I, sometimes whatever. But I see this guy, but immediately he apologized. He's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't see her. And I was
wasn't expecting that.
Me neither, in LA.
No, but I wasn't expecting you to say that right now. I was expecting you to say that it was going to go the other way.
No, no. It has in the past, but I've learned from that. I've learned from that.
How cool was that, though?
Oh, yeah. I was like,
I apologize.
Accountability. Straight up. I was like, thank God, because most people, they'll just throw it right back at you.
Throw it right back at you. And then what do? Immediately you go into defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Now you're at a fuck you.
Yeah.
And that's why I've learned just calm down.
Yeah.
Those days are over for me.
Yeah. You can still handle it though, man. Your physique is insane.
Thank you.
It's better than mine and you're older than me. It's insane.
I'm a lot older than you.
Yeah.
Old enough to be your dad probably twice.
You're about my dad's age. Yeah, roughly. Yeah.
I'm 63.
Man. So what's the routine? What's if you're
every day I grind, get up at 4:30. Hit the gym by 6.
Man.
And I do an hour of cardio every day. I do a shit ton of push-ups.
Yeah.
COVID started me on that program. So I had to find a way to work out. I went down to the beach, did stairs. And every time up, I did 30 push-ups. Every time down, I did 30 push-ups. So it ended up being between 400 and 500 push-ups a day.
Gosh.
And then I've just carried that routine to the gym now. And I appreciate the compliments, but, back to the social media. Oh, you're on steroids. You're this, you're that. Bring it. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard work. It's like anything. Yes, I take TRT.
Yeah.
Yes, I was on steroids before as a young man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Why? But I don't regret it.
Right.
Women take Botox. Women do this. Women do that.
Yeah.
Hey, when I was in my 20s, I was an egomaniac fireman. I wanted my arm hanging out of the paramedic squad with the patch on that said paramedic because I was cool.
Yeah.
You don't know, but you learn. But once you learn, it's hard work.
Absolutely.
It's hard work and you get results.
Yep.
Jake, your best business card is your physique.
Yeah.
You. I mean,
absolutely.
I could talk to anybody by just my physique.
Yep.
And opening my mouth and not being an asshole.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so I've learned that. I try to mentor young kids that way. And the problem I'm having is not too many people want to work that hard anymore.
I know. It's crazy. I've had times where I was majority of my life, I was in much better shape than I'm in now. And I'm in decent shape now, but now I go about it in a different method where I do a lot of fasting now. So once I started fasting, I was just like, I like quick results. So I was just like, okay, well, if I'm going to fast, but then lift weights, I'm going to be so hungry after. I'm going to need protein in my system. You know what I mean? So I'm like, fuck, let me just fast first, get to the amount of weight I want to be at. I still have muscle memory. Like right now I look, definitely compared to you, very skinny in the arm section. But I then would be like, damn, if I fast and then I'll work out after I get down to the body fat I want to be at, and then my muscles will bulge right back out. But I found that that's the most, it doesn't matter what you're taking, what your diet is, most important things. but it's like you got to have that discipline regardless to be in the gym every day.
But it's even more than that. It's life.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to talk about real shit right now,
Please.
you got to have discipline in life, man.
Yeah.
You got to have discipline in just about everything you do. If you want results, you can't. It hurts. It's sometimes it's hard getting up 4:30 in the morning. You know what? The weekends I get up maybe at 6, but I like to drink. I should say it. I drink on Friday nights, 1 or 2 nights a week, okay? But I get up and go to the gym. I pay the fucking price.
Yep.
And I like it. I feel better when I'm walking out of the gym than when I walked in the gym after drinking.
That's the thing.
You know? So I've always been the guy that's hey, if you want to play, you got to pay, right?
Absolutely.
And here we are. I mean, got a great life, 63 years old. I got a daughter that's a rock star. She's fantastic. You know, I'm lucky that I'm not a parent that has to worry about my 28-year-old daughter doing something stupid. I could lay my head on my pillow at night and sleep like a baby knowing that she's successful, she's honorable, and she's a good person. And I have 4 granddaughters. So I won the game of life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you earned it.
And that's the most important thing, right? Our kids. Yeah. And we lose focus on that sometimes because we think material things are where it's at. And material thing, you know, the dopamine rush lasts about 3 to 5 days, but your kids last a lifetime.
Right. Right. Absolutely. So I want to dive into firefighting. I mean, that's, again, I can't say it enough. What an honorable career. Put your life on the line for other people who don't always, from what I experienced, a lot of people don't appreciate it enough. I was, after the military attempt, I was going to try to join a fire department. And I did my EMT class and I did the ride-alongs. And one of the things that turned me off was, and I still may go down that route on the side if I can. I know it's like a full-time thing, but I want to serve in some facet and I want that adrenaline, but, and the ability to help people in a masculine environment, you know, and like use my hands. But when I was there on the ride along, we did like maybe, 8 calls after I did my EMT course. And this was just one day, but so many people were so unappreciative and just like cussing at one of the firemen, you know, on drugs, you know, like just like, I was just like, what the hell is this, man? Maybe this is just LA because there's so many shitheads here, but I don't know.
Well, it's real. I'm telling you, it's real. They think they're bigger than the game. And I'll tell you right now, one call I went on, a gang member got shot. And, you know, full-on gangs, that's the area I worked in. And all his homies were, you know, hovering around us and yelling at us, "You're not doing your job. You got to work faster. You got to blah, blah, blah." I turned around and I said, "Hey, look, motherfucker, I'm going to tell you this. You say one more thing, I'm going to pull my crew out of here and that guy's going to be dead. You want us to save his life or you want me to walk out of here? Because I'm not going to tolerate this happening to my guys or us risking getting ourselves hurt."
Right.
Shut him up real quick, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it was a bad deal. And, you know, I can't remember if we saved him or not, but as we're walking out, they already retaliated because there were gunshots around the corner. So we had to go to another gunshot. So it's a crazy world out there. And yeah, they just disrespectful, man.
Ugh.
We've lost that respect for authority.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying firemen are, you know, the most authority people around, but, you know, you wonder why you get in trouble because you don't listen to what the cops want you to do.
Right.
That's authority.
Yeah.
We need law and order.
Absolutely. If we just had a clear system of law and order that actually took action right now, it would be so much easier. You know?
It's ridiculous. And they wonder why they get screwed up.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're disrespectful and they're assholes.
Yep.
And back to the human part, how much do you think a human can take as a person before he has enough?
Right.
You know, cops are humans too.
Absolutely.
How much disrespect do you think that one person going to take? Back to our starting point where we started this podcast, it's like we don't know what's going to trigger that one person.
Right.
Some could be totally different that triggers you than triggers me.
Yeah.
I may be able to tolerate it 10 more minutes longer than you can. But when they disrespect you, they're disrespecting me. And if you have to do something to intervene, well, I got your back.
Right.
And that's the way it works. And then the media blows it up like it's our fault or, or the cops' fault.
Oh, yeah. That's the sickening part. And it goes, back when I mentioned the social media stuff where I was like, man, I can really control a narrative here. Some people aren't taking this joke as a joke. I was just like, now I understand how this media stuff is working, the major media. It's like you could put any bullshit out there and create this narrative and have people hate people that are there to help you.
It's crazy.
And there's this Netflix documentary called The Crash that was going really viral. You just watched it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
I got hooked on it. That chick's fucked up.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, no, you're good. You're good.
It captivated me.
Yeah. It's a good show.
It's a good show. Wow.
Man.
That's all I can say is wow. I went on a call like that too, where four kids in a car and a dead end concrete wall, and that car went right into it.
Gosh.
And, obviously it was way back in the day before any of this stuff came out. So who knows why, who knows how, but I don't think you miss a wall like that. I mean, no, I don't think you're aiming for it pretty good.
Yeah. I did another video on the crash site photos. Her side wasn't untouched, but it was like the car was completely obliterated, but her side was like the less damaged side,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't want to ruin it for you, but you'll have to watch it.
It's cool. I will watch it, but you don't filter it.
No, yeah. No, I don't know what her motive was.
Okay.
I'm not sure. She had a lot of hang-ups, that gal. And I don't know if she wanted to go in an afterlife with them because that was her boyfriend, or if she felt like she could survive it. My theory is that she just wanted to go all together, but
could be true. It's very common.
I know.
It could be true. And did you see another video my girlfriend and another friend sent me? Was in the police officer's body cam footage when she was getting into the car, you could hear a voice saying, "She killed us," like in a whisper, saying she killed us. And the police officer even interacted with it and reacted to it. He's like, "What'd you just say?" And she's like, yeah. And so it's like going viral for that. I'm going to do a video on that later since I work with the supernatural stuff, which started for fun, but now I'm just like mind blown. But yeah, how crazy is that? Like in the police body cam footage, you could hear a voice say, "She killed us."
Yeah. And, yeah. Just watch it. You'll get a lot of footage out of it. You'll be making a lot of videos out of it because the thing she does is they're out there, man. It's like, how in the hell can she go from this and then do this? It's just, you have to be fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, there's so many men and women out there, but
and I'm going to go back to one other thing.
Yeah.
Her parents were cuckoo too.
Oh, really?
In my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah. So
that'll do it.
Back to the discipline and, how you raise your children. Yeah. Obviously, I don't know. I'm just watching them on a 2-hour TV show, but they were, it was kind of interesting, the parents.
But you're doing really well, and I think it's just some people, like with certain backgrounds, such as yourself, just it's such an honorable thing and such a rare thing that we just want to hear what you have to say. You know, we just want to hear what you have to say, and we know you've got some amazing stories, which we'll get into. You've already told some amazing stories, but we want, you know, we're going to dive deep. But yeah, and then obviously, like Alan mentioned on the podcast that you were on with him, Alan Powell, the actor, fellow actor of yours.
Do you know Alan at all?
No.
Did you just stumble across him?
That's why I stumbled across you. Was on his podcast, but I don't know him at all. But I followed him, and I saw his video with you.
I got to give him a plug. Okay. Can I?
Yeah.
Please?
Yeah, plug whatever.
Because, you know, as a aspiring actor, I stumbled across his profile, and his vibe and his energy got me. It just, you know, I had a private acting coach. I've been to, you know, tons of acting classes up here in LA, and something about the guy and his approach, and he's not an acting coach. He really isn't. He's just an actor, a musician, and his energy just captivated me. So I started watching him a little bit, and within a week of watching him, he popped up with this community that he started, and it's called You're Awesome. And it's on the School app, SKOOL. And sign up. It was $20 a month. And, you know, we're going to just talk about acting. And, you know, if you want to throw your self-audition tape, I'll look at it. I'll maybe give you some feedback, or other people can give you feedback, this and that. And it's blown up to over 700 members now, I think. And the community is fantastic. And Alan is just a genuine dude, man. He's in Tennessee. He's a family man. I don't know much about the man, but my claim to fame was we were on a Zoom call, and he picked me out of about 100 people, 150 people, and said, Todd, wow, you got to look.
You do.
Whatever. And he just went on and kind of coached me down an avenue of, you got to get on social media. And that was my first time to get on social media. I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I didn't know what a reel was. I didn't know anything about it. I was always cautious about social media. And I started talking about Spencer Pratt.
Love him.
Hopefully the new mayor of Los Angeles.
I hope so much.
And if people can't see it, they're a fucking mess.
Yeah.
Because LA is literally on life support right now, and they are doing CPR, and something needs to change. And this guy, Spencer Pratt, is on a mission, not from a political standpoint, but from a personal standpoint.
Yeah.
And he's hungry, and he wants to make a difference. And everything he talks about is right up my alley, spot on. Yep. And it's common fucking sense.
Yep. And
you can't teach common sense, and you can't define it. So back to Alan, that's what I did. And he kind of helped propel me into where I'm at. And apparently that's how you found me.
Yep.
And here we're sitting here today. And I just want to say thank you to him, because people that are aspiring actors or musicians or writers or directors, go find Alan Powell and jump on his You're Awesome community, because people are getting noticed over there.
Yeah.
I had a buddy of mine yesterday actually reach out to me. We lost contact. His name's Steve Burton. He's one of the leads on General Hospital and Days of Our Lives. And we lost contact, and he saw me on Alan Powell's thing and called me up yesterday. And we're going to reconnect in Newport next week. So
that's great.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's opened a lot of doors.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So, yeah.
I think you're going to do really well. I don't know what you're already doing with it, but I think you're going to do really well in the acting space. You have such a unique look. You're such a persona that they're so rare these days, these personas that are heavily used in TV and film. You know, a masculine, I mean, your physique, your hair, everything is like, you know, you're going to kill it.
Well, I appreciate it, Jake. And another thing, too, I want to say is, you know, we dance around politics in the acting world. And for a while there, I was afraid.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm trying to get my name out here. I'm getting a lot of work. I'm getting a lot of additions. It's going well for me. And do I really want to step on this and go down that road? I said, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm going for it because I'm not going to change who I am to accommodate something I don't even have already.
Right.
If you like me and you hire me, you get what you get.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to change for you. If you don't like me, don't hire me.
Right.
It's fine.
Right.
I don't take it personally. I don't really care, but I'm going to stay true to who Tod Hipsher is.
Please.
And I know my morals and values are on spot. I know I could walk in any room and not have to look over my shoulder. I made some mistakes. We'll get into it. You feel free to ask me whatever you want.
Okay.
I'll be happy to tell you. And I could look in the mirror every day and be, man,
yes,
you did it, dude.
Yeah.
You're going.
Yeah.
So let's fucking go.
Yeah.
One of the hardest things for me is being a fireman and being a captain and sitting around that kitchen table and the bell goes off and it's a fire and there's people trapped and we get that over the dispatch that people are trapped and we put our gear on and we go in as a team and we rescue that person. There's no race. There's no sex. There's no nothing, right?
Right.
We're doing a job. We don't give two shits what type of person that is in there.
Amen.
But when COVID hit, people divided. You weren't allowed to talk politics in the fire station. You weren't allowed to. So you really never did, right? Because people are set one way and people are set the other way. It could get physical, blah. But when COVID hit, now you found out who's on what side. And you go back to your time in your life and you go, God, I sat at the kitchen table with that guy. The bell went off. We went into a burning building together, risked our lives. And now you're yelling at me for not wearing a mask.
Nonsense.
And not getting a jab because I don't want to. And guys are losing their job because they're not getting the jab. But we went into a burning building together. It doesn't make sense to me. And now you hate me or dislike me.
It's nonsense. Yeah.
Back to it. What happened?
All right.
How do we get to this point? These poor firemen, they're getting their ass kicked because they're going on 20, 40, 50 calls a day. Guess where they're going? To the homeless people. They're getting their ass kicked. They're exhausted. Yep. They're overworked. The budget's understaffed. Their equipment shit. And the taxpayers, they're getting a delayed response. The people that are paying for these services are getting the delayed response because all the resources are going to the homeless. So go figure.
It's ridiculous.
Right? Go figure.
Yeah.
I own a bar, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that about me.
No, I didn't know that.
I own a bar. I got to have the liquor license by the ABC. I got to buy my alcohol from these people. I got to check IDs. I got to have security. I got to do this. I go to SoFi Stadium to go watch a Charger game. Guess what? There's literally kids out there with coolers and their iPhones selling shots of tequila, beer. No. How does that work?
Right.
How does that work? You tell me. I got to follow all these rules and regulations, yet these kids could pop up and just start selling booze and hot dogs and all this other crap out in front of SoFi Stadium.
It's backwards.
But the poor guy that's got a business and he's paying, licensing, taxes, everything else, and a pop-up taco stand pops up right in front of his shop. What have we done?
It's ridiculous, man. It's like, we want to have empathy for these people, like the homeless people and people in struggle. But when you really live in LA, I think your attitude would change. When you really see that most of these people that are, not taking the assistance, that decide to stay on the street, to use drugs and to, just do whatever the fuck they want. It's just like, I can understand, some people's backgrounds and some of their limited resources, but they need help, and not to be enabled. So I can't stress it enough how much we appreciate your service to the fire department. If you're comfortable with it, I'd like to dive into some of the horror stories that you've had to deal with as a fireman and a fire captain.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, horror stories as far as calls, would you like to go down?
Sure.
Or horror stories there. As far as, well, I'll tell you what, I worked on 1 year, it was the 10th busiest engine company in the nation. And that was ranked by Firehouse Magazine. So we were busy back in the day. And one of the toughest calls that I ever went on was, and I'm good. I mean, I'm confident. I'm good. I'm a good leader. And I'd never been stumped before, but I got stumped on this call. It was a guy that had a big excavator that was excavating a lot. And his son was out there assisting him, 21 years old. He was, they were working together, and he ran over his son with this excavator and chopped him up into mincemeat. Like there was nothing left of him, maybe an arm or, something. And the guy went back and saw that, and you can only imagine what went through his body. And there was nothing obviously we can do for the kid, right? The kid's gone. But how do I handle this guy? What do I do with this guy? Now he's not injured. It's a mental problem, and it's an internal problem that he doesn't know how to handle. And I was stumped, man. We had nothing in place for this. We had no priest on duty back in those days. We had no hotlines that you can call. And I just had to work with him and try to calm him down to get him to a place where he would go to the hospital and just be in a secured environment where he wouldn't hurt himself, and to try to get him to leave that scene where this tragic incident just happened. It took everything I had to accommodate him and make him feel comfortable. And to this day, I talk about it because it was one of the hardest calls I've ever been on. And I wish I knew how the guy was doing, because you know what? That situation never leaves your body. He's carrying it for the rest of his life, his own son.
Yeah, that's horrible. It sounds like you told me at the beginning, you're an open book. And if is there anything that you're uncomfortable with speaking about on this kind of stuff?
Not at all.
Okay.
Nothing.
You sure?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's obviously a sad, horrible story. You guys are doing everything you can. And you guys are some of the, the highest standing men and women in the country doing what you do, some of them. And I'm like, what happens in those situations where you know, there's nothing you can do? There's like, they die and they, like.
Well, there's always something we can do.
Okay.
And we got to figure it out. Okay. I mean, we're the jack of all trades, and I don't want to say master of none, because we do mitigate a lot of problems and solve a lot of problems, but we're good at everything. I was a very good fire captain, but I was a ghetto fire captain. And what that means is I worked in downtown LA in the ghetto, and that was my forte. Now you take me out to the brush, to brush fires, I'm not going to be that good. Okay. I'm going to leave that to the professionals. You put me on a cliff rescue where someone's over the side in a car, I'm not going to be that guy that's technical like that. I'm going to call the USAR team. So I know what resources I have, and I know who to call, which made me stand out like a champ, right? And that's what I was good at. So I think to answer your question, we can't get stumped. You know, we don't have the room to get stumped. My biggest goal and accomplishment, I will say, was for 30 years, 6 of us came on duty and 6 of us went home. That was my greatest accomplishment.
Man, yeah.
And some firemen and some captains and some administrators don't have that luxury to say that. So, knock on wood,
Yeah.
I could say that. And I did my job.
Amen to that. And I'm going to cut out the parts where I look at my phone. I'm looking at my questions.
If you want to go into the gambling thing, go for it.
Okay, let's do it.
It's up to you. I mean,
no, I want to.
You can segue into, like, I heard you lost your job or whatever.
Okay.
And however you want to do it.
Okay. Let's save that for a little bit.
Okay.
I want to really highlight your firefighting stuff first.
Okay.
So what would you say was the closest call that you've had on the job as a fireman and a fire captain?
The closest call to my death?
To your death, yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I will say this. When you get in a big warehouse fire, if you really think about a warehouse fire, unless it's operating, which a lot of these warehouse fires start in the middle of the night, there's no one working. So you really got to think about risk versus gain. What's in there? Product could be replaced. All these companies have big insurance, right? But we tend to send our men in there to put the fire out. And the closest call I've been on was a big warehouse fire, because it's a lot of times they're like football fields. And as a fireman, the only way that you know how to get out is by that hose, because that hose came in, and that's, if you lose that hose, that's your only way out, unless you're tied up to a rope or something like that, which we really don't do. So if you get into the middle of the warehouse, which we did, and you get away from the wall, because the walls are your only safe place as well, but you can lose your vision and where you're at, and immediately we lost a hose. So now what? Now you're crawling on the floor and you're scared. You're breathing heavy. Your adrenaline's up. It's, who knows? I think it was 3 a.m. You're already tired anyway. And your heart rate goes from 60 to laying in bed to 140. And we're in the middle of this burning building, and we managed to stick together as a crew, which we always do. There's 4 on my crew, and the engineer who drives the fire truck, he's out pumping the water. So now there's 3, the captain and myself and 2 firemen. And fortunately, we stayed together and we were able to find our way out. But fuck, man, it's scary. And all I could think about, your supernatural stuff that you're talking about is my daughter, my wife at the time, these other people's families. Are we going to see them again? I got to remain calm. We got to get out. And it's heavy. It's heavy.
Man. That's the thing that I think about. My shift now mentality. I used to be like Superman and like, I don't care. I believe in God and I know where I'm going, and I'm not afraid to die at the time. But then when you have someone, that loves you, like a girlfriend or a wife or kids, it's just like, you want to be there for them, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, that's that's your driving force. I mean, like you said, I'm not afraid to die. I mean, I would have chose a different profession probably if I was afraid to die. But, when other people rely on you and other people love you and other people want your presence around,
yeah,
you fight for it.
That's when it's different.
Gets different.
Man.
Gets real.
I put these questions into Chat GPT, so I'm going to cut that part out. No, I'm not going to ask that question.
Go ahead, ask it, and I'll tell you if it's worthy.
Okay. Have you, as a fireman, have you ever seen someone not make it and it still haunts you?
That's a good question. Does the situation haunt me? Yes, it does. And that'd be young children. You know, I've had a lot of young children die in my presence. And it always went back to my daughter and her age. When she was 2, and this 2-year-old died because of SIDS, which is sudden infant death syndrome, where they just die, you know, no rhyme or reason for it. And shit, is that going to happen to my daughter? Yeah, it haunts me. Then she's 4. This kid just got his hand blown off with a firework. Okay, now what? No fireworks. I don't want your hand to blow off. Now she's 8. Now which one's that call? Oh, it's a drowning. Oh my God, I got a pool at my house. Now what? Now she's 16. Now she's driving. The 16-year-old girl just crashed her car. She got her arm amputated. Now what? So, yeah, it haunts you.
I'm going to rapid fire through some of these questions. The last half hour, we can dive into the gambling stuff and all that, if you want. Okay, here we go. And I'm cutting out all this part. What's something that the public has no idea that firefighters are dealing with mentally and emotionally?
I think it reverts back to what we see and how far we could push our limits. What affects you may not affect me. What affects me may not affect you. We don't know until we get there what your limit is versus my limit. So I don't think the public knows that when we mount up together, there's a vast variety of what we can tolerate physically and mentally. And I don't think the public knows that. And I think sometimes they do have to cut some slack to the mental aspect of what we go through. You know, humans are weird. Humans are weird, Jake. We're there to, at the drop of a hat, when someone calls 911, they want a red fire truck to show up and people to mitigate their problems and solve their problems. And that's what they're looking for. And sometimes some of those people are assholes. And they don't respect the fact that realistically, they have no one else to call.
Right.
So why are you going to be an asshole to us? You know, why can't you accommodate us, treat us with respect, and we're the ones that are going to help you. We're the ones that are going to take care of your baby that's choking on that grape. And when you say you're not doing anything, trust me, we're doing everything we possibly can.
Of course.
It may not look to you like we're doing anything, but the last thing we want is something to happen tragically on our watch, protecting the public and the community we serve. When we took that oath, that's what we're there for. And you know what? There's fire stations that get one call, maybe a day if they're lucky, one call every 3 days if they're lucky. And then there's fire stations that get 30 to 40 calls, even more so nowadays. Okay. And fortunately, we have the opportunity to bid where we want to work. So if it's in your blood that you want that adrenaline rush and you want to challenge yourself 40 to 60 times a day, well, then that's where you go, to that station. If you don't want that challenge, you can go and hang out somewhere else in a nice cush spot and chill. It pays the same, do the same thing. but it's all what your body's makeup and your mentality is. So it's a vast variety of ways to handle your shit.
Absolutely. As a fireman, have you ever gone into a building thinking that you weren't going to come out?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Yep. I had a swap meet fire, and it was an indoor swap meet. So you could imagine, and we do fire prevention, so we know these buildings, right? And you always say to yourself, fuck, if this thing ever catches on fire. Well, it caught on fire, and it's like a pack rat maze condition. And my God, Jake, it goes back to what type of captain, what type of leader you are. It's that risk versus gain thing. Am I going to put my people in this situation to fail, or am I going to make sure that we all get out and those material things, those comforters and those tennis shoes, they could all be replaced, but we can't. And when that fire hit, we went in there, the ceiling started to come down a little bit, and I'm like, we're out.
Good.
We got out. And then we called a defensive attack, and then we just put water on it and let it go.
Man, that decision is
let me interrupt you real quick though. If there's a life in there, we're going.
Yeah.
We're going. And we're pushing. My crew, we're badass. We're pushing. The people I worked around, the stations that were surrounded by me, we all had the same hunger. We're pushing. And that's the type of mentality you need, because I need to rely on the other guys coming in behind me. And one bad apple could ruin the whole apple cart. So if there's a life and, kids involved, then we're willing to sacrifice our lives for that.
We can't thank you enough, honestly.
Well,
I know it's cringe to hear, but we really can't.
I mean, those guys at 9/11, they knew what they were getting into, and they still went. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of bodies in there, a lot of people in there that were alive, and they went to save them, eventually losing their own lives. And so you know what you're getting into. And there was nothing that would have stopped us for trying to save somebody.
Yeah. What's the worst decision or mistake a civilian can make during a fire?
The worst decision, probably not listening to what we tell them. Probably their emotions are high. They're, they may think they want to get a material thing that's in their house, or they may want to, yell at us or whatever the case may be. But I think not listening to us, not listening to the professionals that know what to do and how to do it. That's probably the worst mistake. Fires happen a lot of times, careless acts, malfunctioning electrical equipment. Sometimes it's nobody's fault, but a lot of times it's humans. So just be cognizant of your surroundings and what you're doing in your house and your life.
Absolutely. Yeah, don't leave the stove on.
Yeah, don't leave the stove on, blow out your candles when you leave. And, people don't understand that you leave candles lit, there could be an earthquake, could just shake a little bit. And before you know it, that candle's knocked over. Now your house is on fire. There's just so many things to think about that probably the general public doesn't think about.
Have you ever had to save another fellow firefighter's life on the job?
Oh, I would say I saved a lot of lives because of my decision making.
Yeah.
Right. As far as physically pulling someone out, yes, absolutely. One of the common things is guys fall in through the roof because fire burns upwards, right? So it compromises the beams and the roofing compounds. And when you're up on a roof, we want to cut a vent hole to let the gas and smoke eliminate from the house. And a lot of times their weight and you just fall through, and now they're in the fire. So yeah, we've saved them. Man.
You know, some people talk about remembering things through smells. Do you have any certain smells, I guess, other than a fire, that just remind you of like a certain call? If it's a dumb question, what next one?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Not really. I mean, if you're, let's put it this way, if you're smelling something bad, like a hazardous material, and it's bad, it may smell good to you, but it may be toxic. You better look around and see if the birds or the cats or everybody else is still standing, because if they're still standing, then you're okay. But if they're croaked over, there's something bad and toxic in that fruity smell or smell that you think you like to smell.
And again, I am listening. I'm just, for the time's sake.
No problem.
Because they won't see me out when you're answering. I just hate looking at my phone when you're talking to me. What's something that movies get wrong about firefighters?
Oh, that's pretty funny. That's a pretty good question. Movies get wrong. Well, these new shows that are kind of on TV now, I don't remember a lot of them, but Chicago Fire seems to be the most real one I've seen lately. And I kind of, I would love to be on that show, actually, just because it's pretty real in the station life. There's some cheesy parts of the relationships and that kind of stuff. So I think they get that wrong. And I think they get wrong that, we're always kind of screwing around and not doing what we need to do. A lot of times these shows that are on TV are kind of cheesy as far as what's really going on. Backdraft was true to form. I think it was pretty good. And, but I think what they get wrong is just the cheesy relationships and slapstick stuff they throw in there to try to make it look better than it really is. A big part of working efficiently is building a crew that you can count on and trust. And I think some of the times in the movies you see this person over here that doesn't really mesh with this person, that doesn't fit with this person, and that's never going to work, So from my perspective, that's what I see.
I know you mentioned that you joined the fire department really young at 20 years old, but was there anything when you did join that just surprised you about being a firefighter, or something you didn't like about being a firefighter? Like, did it feel overhyped?
Oh, hell no. I mean, big red fire truck, kids look out the window and wave at it. And now I remember the first time I went on the call. I mean, I did a lot of ride-alongs before, but when I was really a fireman and I earned my badge, and, the first call I went on, I had a big smile on my face, because it's like, wow, this is really happening. Right. And, I don't know. I think too that when you're going through it, I think I mentioned earlier that these men with these big presence in a paramilitary organization that got on your ass and you hated them at the time, and you thought they didn't like you. And I've never been in the military, so I don't know what a drill academy was. And God damn, I thank them now for the way they were, because I don't think I would have ever turned into a real man without that. And it really made a difference in my life.
Amen. Are there certain calls that firefighters secretly dread getting?
Yes. It's the 2 a.m. call where you got to help a person back into bed. And you get there and, it's fine once or twice, but when you go on the same person 20 times and it's always the same thing, oh my God, that was a dreaded call.
Yeah.
There's Joe again. Fell out of bed, 400 pounds, and you got to get your whole crew. Now your back hurts because you just lifted Joe back up into bed for the 20th time. And, but hey, that's what we're there for, right?
Absolutely.
So we bitch and complain when it's happening, but now looking back, I wish I could do it right now again.
Well, okay, let me take back my absolutely. I was you guys, yeah. I mean, what you guys do is incredible. It's a shame that some people take advantage of the system like that. From my opinion, as a civilian, I remember, and again, this was just a ride along. I may still try to venture into that with as much time as I can, just for fulfillment and adrenaline. But on my ride along day, there was this probably 600-pound woman, naked, in bed, and we had to. I guess it was called a gurney. We had to carry her through the door. I don't know how we got her through the door. She was so wide.
You reminded me of something. Go ahead.
Okay. And we had to see her naked in the bed, and she's got all kinds of stuff going on over here, and then I after we load her and I'm like, helping carry, thank God they let me help. This was, again, just my ride along. This is nothing compared to the 30 years that you put in, but my one little taste, one day of taste. And then we get to the fire truck after we put her in the ambulance, and one of the firemen there, I don't remember his exact position, he was just like, did you see her fucking warts? I was like, no, I did not. She was like flaking and stuff. I was like, this is disgusting. Some of this stuff is just disgusting.
Oh, dude. We had to carry Vaseline just to put on Vicks Vapor Rub just to put under our noses sometime because the stench was so bad in some of these places.
Oh.
But you remind me of something. I went on a call. This was a call that stuck with me too, that this guy was about 600 pounds and he was having chest pain and he was extremely diaphoretic. He had a 13-year-old kid with him, and his kid thought he was a badass, and he was, probably in the incipient stages of becoming a gang member. And he called us and he gave us attitude, and the dad's having a heart attack. I mean, he's pale, cool, and diaphoretic and complaining of chest pain, and we got to get him to the hospital. Nope. And the kid popped off on me. He said, we ain't going to the fucking hospital. I don't care what you think you're going to do, but we're not going. I said, okay, if your dad's going to sign this piece of paper, we'll get out of here. But I guarantee he's going to die. I'm telling you right now. Sure enough, the next day, called back to the same house. He died. Okay, the kid's crying. I didn't want to say I told you so. I didn't say I told you so. But to get him out of the house, we had to cut the door all the way open and get not even a special gurney, but like 2 ladders to get him on, just to get him out of the house and throw him in a, sorry, not throw him, but put him in the back of a like utility truck to get him over to the mortuary. That's how bad this was. And God, I remember the call like it was yesterday because this kid was popping off and we probably could have saved his life if he just wasn't such an asshole.
Yeah, man. Just listen to the fireman. Like, what the hell are you thinking?
The dad had that attitude too, but
what is it they're worried about? Finances, or what exactly is their like determining factor in that situation?
That's a great question, Jay. I have no idea. Man. What could they possibly? Why'd you call us in the first place?
Right.
What'd you think we're going to do? Just give them a magic pill and everything's going to go away? It doesn't work like that. We did everything we could. And when it got down to it, I mean, I even had to order a special ambulance for him because he was too big for a regular gurney and a regular ambulance. And
which is ridiculous.
Right. But he was alive and we could have got him out the door that way. But once he's passed, now it's just a whole nother situation. And it was a trip. But
have you ever thought about quitting after a certain traumatic call?
Never. No way. First of all, I'm not a quitter. Second of all, I took that oath and I was there. Some are harder than others. How you process them sometimes may be a little different. Maybe it's go for a run, go play basketball, go get your guys out there, do something different. But no.
Amen to that. We appreciate that. What's the funniest thing that's ever happened during a serious emergency as a firefighter?
The funniest thing during a serious...
And if any of these questions, again, if you have no answer, just we'll skip. Next question.
No. Yeah, you know what? No.
Okay.
I don't know anything funny that... Oh, I'll tell you one.
Sure.
It's kind of funny. I don't know. We had one call where we're along the 710 freeway, and they have those big electrical poles and wires that run parallel the freeway, right? It was about 100 degrees out one day, and this guy climbed all the way up to the top, and he's baking up there, right? I don't know if this is funny or not, but he's up there. It's 100 degrees. We're talking to him, trying to get him down. Bullhorn, PD's there, everybody's there. Call for the jumper pad. So we put up this jumper pad, set it all up. It takes however long to set. It's not an easy process. Well, the guy moves. So now we have to move this whole thing, and we're playing catch up back and forth with this guy. Finally, we just said, nope, that's it. We're going to leave. So we left. The guy came down. So,
jeez.
Yeah, we played cat and mouse for a while with him. And finally, the cops and the incident commander said, no, let's just leave. And he came down on his own.
Man. So. Would you say that firefighters bond differently than regular friendships?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. Absolutely. Some better than others. I don't have any childhood friends anymore that I really talk to, but, I have some fire friends that right now that would go to battle with. I got one in particular that we talk twice a day and, share each other's lives and deepest secrets. And it's a bond.
Man.
Yeah. Hard to find.
Yeah. Especially in LA, for the record.
Yeah. Good luck.
What's one call as a firefighter that you replay in your head constantly?
That one about the guy that ran over his son.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one stuck with me. Not because he ran over his son, but just what he must be going through. probably to this day. I wonder what he's going through.
Yeah.
Then he had to tell his wife, and just trickle down effect, man. Yeah, that. And, a couple of the little kids ones that, yeah, go over that. Horrible.
What are some, if you're comfortable talking about it, what are some of the instances that would happen with little kids? Like they just get stuck in something, or?
Oh boy, anything. I mean, mother ran over her own baby, backed over, didn't know the kid ran behind the car. Just horrible. Drownings, I delivered 7 babies though.
7?
Yeah.
Gosh.
When I was a paramedic, so I delivered 7 babies.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty trippy. That's a good topic for this.
Yeah, what is that like? What's it like as a fireman delivering a baby?
It's a trip. Most of these people don't even want them. It's like they're just trying to get through it and whatever. I don't think it's I don't know. One girl didn't even know she was pregnant. Try that one out.
How's that? Is she just so big that?
She wasn't that big.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. She just had no clue. And
man,
before you know it, she's having these menstrual cramps, and, all of a sudden the water broke, and holy shit, here we go. A little crowning and baby.
Man.
I don't know how you cannot know you're pregnant.
Right. I've heard about it happening though.
Right. But that's your supernatural powers. You can figure that out.
What's one piece, if you could give one piece of advice to someone who is either about to be a fireman or who wants to be a fireman, what would you tell them?
Keep your head on a swivel and find a strong leader to work for. Make sure you're always on your game and don't take things for granted. One bad move can change everything. So you got to be cognizant of your surroundings. I think that would be it.
What about time at like the firehouse in between calls? What would you recommend a new fireman do at the firehouse while in between calls? Like, is he okay to just relax, or is that going to look bad?
A brand new fireman? Absolutely not. Negative. You better be out there learning every piece of equipment that's on that fire engine. You better be learning every piece of equipment that's on any equipment that's stationed in his house. And if he runs out of time doing that or has extra time, he better be cleaning something, or he better be studying something, because that part we're always learning, right? I had 30 years on. I'm always learning. And I'll go back to those guys in the training tower or whatever. When I became a captain, I took a little bit of each of those guys and put it in my toolbox to build my style. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be just like that guy. I wanted to build my own style, but I liked that piece from that guy, or I liked that piece. I didn't like that from that guy, so I don't want to be that. So a new fireman could always learn, and he could pick from other firemen and engineer and captain on how he wants to be. But you always have to be learning and on your toes and hungry to know what's at the end of that tunnel. There's a big light at the end of that tunnel. Right now it may look like a pen light, but you got a great career, you make great money, and you have great times you're with your bros every day, right?
Yeah.
So, but you go through in that interim new phase, grind, work hard. Don't leave that captain any question about you, because if they find one little thing, they'll eat at you, and you'll carry that reputation the rest of your career.
How long would you say, like, to somebody who's really grinding and putting in the work, was there like an average time frame that someone kind of went from like that, proving themselves, grinding every moment to like, okay, now you can go and, work out or read a book or something?
Yeah, I mean, your probation's a year. When you're off probation, then depending on what type of person you are and what you've earned on your own, you know, they'll ease up on you. Then you could, be one of the guys per se. But if you're cocky and you're one of those guys that comes in and thinks he's a know-it-all, then they'll just make your life miserable.
Man.
Yeah. And you know what? I hate to say it, but you deserve it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're working with guys that have put in years of hard, honorable work, and you're, screwing around.
And if there's an asshole that's picking on you, the other guys know that guy's an asshole. They're not going to hold you accountable for that one asshole.
Okay.
But you got to overcome that one asshole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like they figure it out.
Yeah.
But just be that guy that overachieves.
Have you ever seen something on a call as a fireman that someone survived that they shouldn't have survived?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it happens a lot. It's generally the drunk guy, realistically. The drunk guy with his friends that's driving that shouldn't be driving. His inhibitions are down. He just hit a light pole or a tree, and all his passengers die, and then he's the one that's living. And it's because your body's flaccid and brutal.
Yeah.
That brings back some memories, yeah. Yeah.
What's more dangerous? And I know this is like I'll start that from the top to keep it clean. As a fireman responding to calls, what is more dangerous? A house fire, a drug overdose, or a car crash, would you say on average?
Oh, a house fire for sure, probably. It depends what the car crashed into, though, too. If there's power lines down, I mean, each one of those is bad. Overdose, you give these guys Narcan when they OD on heroin, and they get up and they want to fight you, and because you ruined their high. I mean, they just had a fireman back east somewhere that gave a druggie some Narcan, and he woke up and he shot the fireman and killed him.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I hope he gets life in prison.
That was just in the news last couple weeks ago, a month ago, maybe. Horrible.
What in the world?
Yeah. I've been in numerous fights when I was a paramedic where you give the Narcan too early, and then they wake up and you're in the back of the ambulance and now you're brawling. I mean,
man.
Yeah.
What do you do in that? Just knock him out? Like, what do you do in that? What can you do in that situation?
Try to subdue him and restrain him. Thank God I'm a big guy, but some of these people, they get the best of them. And so then, if you're smart, you wait to give the Narcan right before you get to the hospital where they have security, and you can monitor and restrain them there better with more people. But if you're not smart, you give it to them too early. But then time's of the essence, right? Because heroin depresses your respiratory system, so it's a fine line.
So we've highlighted just a small percentage of your 30 years the most honorable 30 years a human life can make, in my opinion, as a fireman, as a fire captain, making decisions that alter lives and save lives. But you're open about this. You told me you're open about this. You told me you're open to discuss this. You Made a mistake, you say.
I did.
What happened?
I made a fucking bad mistake. Well, as a young boy, I was raised in San Pedro, California. I'm half Italian, half Croatian. My dad left and had a lot of Italian friends, and they were in the business. And the business could be numerous things. The business I learned was bookmaking, which is gambling. And I love sports. I want to be an athlete. Wasn't very good. Went into the fire department, had my dream job. And after about, 10 years, 15 years on the job, I got back into betting myself on sports. And then I got back into my bookmaking business. And unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, I was really good at that too. So I expanded my bookmaking business to, it was just when online was coming on, and we had a call center in Costa Rica. And before you know it, I was back in business bookmaking. And I didn't do it for the money. I did it for the love of sports and the rush. And I was gambling myself, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go back on the other side. You can't win gambling. So I got on the other side, and I enjoyed it. And had a buddy of mine that wanted to come work for me, and he did, but unfortunately he was a rat, and he ratted on me.
Really?
And introduced me to some guys that were cool that wanted to bet, and we became friends. And he was working for me, and these guys were cool dudes, man. They were longshoremen. My dad was a longshoreman. I was a longshoreman too. Even while I was a fire captain, I was a longshoreman. I've always been a hustler. We went back to that. And about 2 years, kind of just hanging out with these guys off and on. And one day, me and my girlfriend went to get a sandwich, and the same guys rolled up on me, my friends, and they were federal agents, Homeland Security. And in that split second, my 30-year career was over, and I did not know what to do. And that was it. Never went back to the fire station. And to answer your question, I made a mistake. It wasn't an immoral mistake, I don't think. I knew it was illegal. And your mom's always right. Listen, my mom said, Todd, why are you doing this? You don't need the money. I said, Mom, what's the worst that can happen? They slap me on the hand or what? Well, the worst happened. Moms are always right. And the judge liked me. He's a federal judge, David O. Carter. I remember him, ex-Marine, really good dude. A lot of respect for him. He gave me a deal that said, this doesn't affect your pension. You could retire. I'll let you retire. And we'll give you one count of bookmaking and a year of house arrest. So I took that deal, and, I was hurt, and I was kind of a mess for a while about it. And, but I felt the deal was good, right? I get my pension, I retire. And then about 3 months after receiving my pension, they took it away from me.
Why?
Yeah, because they enacted a new law that it was called, in the state of California, called the PEPRA law, Public Employees Pension Reform Act. And if you're convicted of a job-related felony they could take your pension. Now, however in the hell, and I'm going to say this on here, I don't think I've ever said it before, but these federal agents that were my friends, they were the best fucking actors in the world, man. I'm an actor, but they were fucking good because they said that I ran this whole operation out of the fire station that I worked at, which never happened. They came and visited me one day there because they were on a Harley ride. And so they came in the station. They talked about gambling for a little bit, blah, blah, blah. But I never ran anything out of the fucking fire station. It was all call centers in Costa Rica. And why would I work at the busiest fire station ever? But I'm not blaming them. They caught me. I'm not blaming them. But Jake, I never had a ticket in my life. I've never done a drug in my life. Nothing to that point. They even tried to get me to sell counterfeit Louis Vuitton purses and True Religion jeans.
The agents were trying to get you to do this.
Yes.
That's got to be illegal on their part. And
Homeland Security, they could do whatever they want. They have no rules. And, it was just kind of funky, the whole thing. And I'm like, no, I'll buy some for my wife or whatever. But I don't. And that was it. They rolled up on me. They left me $36, took everything, and I didn't know what I was going to do. Had a daughter that was 15 years old. She was at Mater Dei, private Catholic high school. And I didn't quit though. So I grinded, figured out a way, tapped into my deferred comp, got her through high school. I have a high school education, so I went to work for helping alcoholics and drug addicts. That got to the point where it was really hard on me because they sell you a bill of goods and then they always go off. I can't help them unless they want to help themselves, and you get attached to them. And so then I quit that, and I went to bartending school, not thinking I was going to be a bartender, but thinking I was going to own a bar. Then I sent out 50 letters to bar owners all around. 2 responded. And I went to go buy the one, and, I borrowed money from everybody, and I didn't realize you can't be a felon and have a liquor license.
Oh, really?
So
I didn't know that either. No, I didn't know that.
Well, now you do. So with that being said, I partnered up with some people and they put their name on the license, and that's what I did for a while, and parlayed it into 5 bars at one time, and got back up on my feet. But my most humbling experience was when they called me up and said, we're going to put you on house arrest. We got to come put the thing on your ankle, right? I'm a prideful dude, man. I got a pretty big ego. I was a fire captain. And the guy called me up and he goes, hey, Todd, because they come inspect your house first to see if you qualify for it. He goes, hey, Todd, I'm going to come and put this on your ankle. It was a Friday. I remember it like yesterday. And I go, well, shit, I'm on my way out the door. I'm going to Palm Springs. And he goes, go have a good time. Just call me on Sunday when you get back. Cool dude, right? Stand up as hell. Another federal agent, not anyone I knew though, but a different federal agent. Call him up Sunday. He comes over and he goes, man, this is why I hate my fucking job. He goes, we all bet. We all have pools and go to Vegas. We bet all the time, blah, blah, blah. And he clicked that thing on my ankle. And for 3 days, I curled up in a ball and I felt sorry for myself. And I go, the fuck am I doing? And I said, this ain't me. So I got dusted off, went to the gym, and I got naked. And I walked through that fucking gym like I owned it. And anybody that asked me a question, I welcomed it. And that was one of the most enlightening times in my life, to own it, embrace it, and deal with it. Here we are.
Well, first, I got to say, and if you want me to cut this part out, I will, but that's just bullshit, man. The whole thing is fucking nonsense that happened to you. First of all, it's a victimless crime. There's so much actual bullshit crimes going on.
Let me interrupt you real quick.
Yeah.
That federal agent that put my thing on my ankle helped me get off. I got off in 4 months. So all I did was 4 months.
Okay.
And to this day, we're still friends.
Oh, good.
Me and that guy. So I'm sorry to interrupt, but he really helped me.
Oh, good.
Pretty cool dude. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, because you're the last person that deserves something like that over something. When I read that, I was just like, that's a crime. First of all, I didn't know it was a crime. So that's a crime. And then I'm just like, and then to convict if someone is clearly just like victimless.
And I got to be honest with you. A lot of firemen bet with me.
Yeah.
I was a bookie that I didn't need the money. I didn't do it for the money. I did it for the rush. And if you made $4,000 at your job and you're losing $3,000 to me, I didn't want your money. I was that guy. I had a moral compass. I would tell you, no, quit, stop, or don't do it through me, because I don't want that kind of money. And that's why, like I said earlier, I could look myself in the mirror and I'm good, man.
Good.
I'm good.
Good. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. It's really ridiculous. And I'm sorry it happened to you. Honestly, I mean that truthfully. Like, it's just like, it sounds to me like, did the federal agents have nothing better to do with their time? No disrespect to them, to our system, but like, really?
Well, I guess not. Ironically, I had a lot of pro athletes and famous people that bet with me. They want me to rat on them, and I wouldn't. So
it was deeper than you.
It was deeper than me, and I think they wanted me to roll over on them, and I wouldn't. And I hold that close to my heart for myself and my daughter. I'm not a rat, and that's why I relate, and I got a lot of good feelings for Pete Rose, because Pete Rose was wronged. I mean, sure, he gambled. He never bet on his or whatever. I don't know the particulars, but man, that's Charlie Hustle. He played the game the way it should be played, and he should have made it to the Hall of Fame. And I should have been able to go out of my career the way I wanted to go out on my terms.
Absolutely.
And I didn't get that opportunity.
There's got to be something you could do, and I don't mean to overspeak here, but there's got to be something you could do about getting your pension. There's got to be like an appeal or something.
Oh, we went all the way up to the California Supreme Court, and I lost.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So what happened was they didn't fight the law on Tod Hipsher's behalf. They fought the law on the law itself. So we lost, and it hurt. I thought there was no way. The judge even said, you earned the pension. It's your pension.
30 years.
30 hard years. It's okay. It's my fault. I own it.
I
know. But guess what? Maybe it bought me more time in life. I could have died in a fire. Who knows? Go to your supernatural powers.
Yeah. Well, actually, oddly enough, I have a guy coming on in the near future from Australia who I knew from Army Hammer's podcast, who was a fireman, and then he became a psychic, oddly enough. He discovered he had these gifts. He goes with a psychic firefighter. We'll get more into that. He'll come on, but he's a now almost a friend of mine. But great guy, great fireman in New York, out of New York. He now lives in Australia because he met his wife there or whatever.
Oh, right on.
But great guy. He's coming on too. But anyway, we're running out of time. So I just want to thank you, first of all, for your service you did to this city, Los Angeles, as the fire captain. Incredibly honorable. 30 hard years saving people's lives in a city that isn't always thankful enough, hardly ever thankful enough for what you do and what other service members do. And then secondly, for coming on and telling your story.
Oh man, it was an honor. Thanks so much for having me and letting me share my life. We got 2 hours. I don't think we missed a beat. It was awesome. And these firemen that are working now, they don't get enough praise. And I do want to say that they grind every day for the public, man. And they deserve everything they get. And the people that complain about them and their pensions, hey, you could have stood in that line and taken the test and did it too. So I give them a hell of a lot of credit. It's a different time and a different era now. But thank you for having me and let me tell my story, man. It was awesome.
It was an honor and a pleasure.
It was easy.
Good.
You know, I've done numerous podcasts and we did good. I don't have any supernatural powers, but we seem to talk without ever meeting each other before, like we knew each other for 40 years.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. It is.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on. This thing cuts off automatically, but again, thank you for coming on. And guys, be sure to follow him at Tod Hipsher, right?
Yep. TODHIPSHER.
Okay.
Please. Yeah.
He's growing incredibly quickly, and he's an actor now and making serious moves with that. And yeah, we'll see a lot more of you soon, Tod.